Hey, Kentone from Kentone Private Studios, 21 and up. What you doing, Ken? Yo, this is a pop-up interview to myself. Helps me clear my head. So what's up? Well, right now we're in the Cathedral Trail. Beautiful trail here in Clatsop County. A lot of people camp, off the trail. Maybe a camp back up in there somewhere, or a camp down in there. And it's really like right here. Here's let me put it this way. Here's a nice little area you can walk in and sit down. Practically a campsite, but what kind of camp is it, Personally, I've made a day camp where I can lay and sleep all day, on one of the trails, off one of the trails here. Also, there's a night camp, not off this trail, but I made a night camp where I go to sleep at night. Both places, unbothered by people. And in a town this nice, if somebody did come up on your camp, they would say hey or speak or something, even before you got robbed, so that's good. It ain't too cutthroat. Like I say, even the thieves are nice. So that's cool. So it's not being homeless, it's living on the street. That's what it is. Yeah. Because it's total freedom here. It's total freedom. From the bottom up, from the ground. And not responding to anyone, demand other than your own body to eat and sleep. In nature, I'm snowing now I'm raining, now I'm gonna be hot than a motherfucker. And these bugs, now I'm coming to look for food. If you pitch a tent here, I might be in you chewing on your nuts at night. So, but yeah, it's all beautiful. It's more parts of the trail. Yep. No, just nothing but trees. So, here's a bag of snacks I got from the the warming center here in Astoria. It's a good thing because a lot of the people were sleeping outside anyway, and they appreciate that warm roof, It's not only, it's not only a good thing, but when you have women, sick women, elderly women, young kids, young men, just, you need a place like that. I mean, no one would say, hey, this is where I want to be. But in the meantime, in between time, like my brother say, you know, there's got to be something in place there. So, but be it that a lot of people were given a cot or given a mat, somewhere to sleep, and a roof, and now all that's going away because they said it wasn't cold enough tonight in order to open the warming center, meaning y'all can sleep outside tonight, you know, because it's not going to be too cold. I mean, that's not the point anyway. They weren't opening the center just to keep people from being cold. No, that was the angle. They opened the center to clean the streets. Yeah. You open the center to have your streets clean. Because if you don't have an open center, then the streets are going to be filled with people living in them. Like we just got done saying, living in the street. Yeah, these trails here, if you have tourists and they want to enjoy the Cathedral Trail, that's going to be interesting. You know, first you're on the internet. Well, first your mom says, hey, you ought to go here. Then you say, okay. Then you get on the internet and look up the attractions. Then you're looking at the Cathedral Trail. Then you get on a plane or the bus and now you're here. You meet with your mom and eat lunch. And then the next morning, after you've eaten dinner with her and sleep and wake up, you say, I'm going to enjoy the sights and go on the trail. And you're walking on the trail and you're looking at all the different plants and you look up and you see a tent. You see a tarp. You see some trash bags in a bush. You wonder, what's that? And it's a guy living on the street. So, when the warming center is open, that guy leaves the trail, he leaves the corner, he leaves the street. And the streets are clean of them, of us, of people who aren't in a house right now or don't have a permanent living arrangement set up. You see us. And when the center is open, we go in. Because we love living outside. I do. I love the freedom. You know, it's a good place to build. It's a good place to start from. You know, you got to get away from it all. Even if your family is coming down your neck, you know. Sometimes you got to get away from it all. Start again. And the streets is the lowest you can go. Unless you want to live underground, you know, virtually. That's lower than the street and is actually absolutely correct. Some cities have underground living quarters or spaces where it would be suitable. I know a lot of young animals probably do the same thing. Go underground. So, yeah. Take this off. Start a part B here. But anyway, the point of that is the center is a necessity for the streets, for the local city council. You know, it's a necessity for the police department. You know, it's a necessity for the tourism. It's a necessity for you know, the guys that's going to benefit the most. But put that on there at the end. You know, it's a necessity for us. Something that's needed in place so we can have rest and think. All we're doing is organizing thoughts to get to the next one. And if you constantly keep someone on their feet, it's hard to do that. And that's why when you're on the street, eventually you seek to find a place where you can be alone. I mean, because in truth, if these people, if we weren't built to be alone, we probably would never left, you know. A lot of those people who don't want to be alone or are afraid, they probably haven't left, you know, and they're probably still in a situation where they're unhappy or compromising just to not be alone. Relationships, family situations, job, just to not have a job, you know, it's all that, just to hold things together. But it's not so bad when you let everything fall apart. It's not so bad. I mean, if you pick the good location where it's not going to freeze you to death or hot, where you're not going to die of dehydration, then you should be able to manage in terrain. You know, I think it's raining again. And that's good because I covered my bed up and I rolled it in the tarp. And so it should last through any heavy rain or wind, snow even. If I had another tarp, I could stay there at night, but for now, this will work. A big difference between what I used to do and now, now my body's in the lead, you know. My body is in the lead. It's protecting itself. I've noticed that, you know. It's protecting itself on all fronts. Mental, emotional, physical. Ideally, you know, people try to tell me I'm this or that, or try to treat me like this or that. They're not listening. They're not listening. The loudest voice in me is quiet. The loudest voice in me is the one that's hardest to hear. And it will be heard. It's just a fact. It's just a fact, man. I'm not no boasting or bragging, it's just a fact. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time before my will is done anyway. Because right now, I'm looking good. But I don't think like that anymore, and that's my point. I don't think first anymore. I don't articulate or particulate, organize things and then hit play. You know, I don't build machines and then plug it in, you know, like I used to. It's good for building and it's good for testing machinery and learning, engineering, knowledge. But those 10 seconds, those 20 seconds, those half a seconds, you know, living is required to pay attention now. More go with the flow, it's more listening. A lot more listening going on. Yeah, a lot more learning. It's a lot to take in. I'm on a whole new coast. You know, I mean, I've been in and out of life-threatening situations, scenarios. That's dope right there. It's a little pad right back up in there. You can't see it that much. Yeah. I've been in and out of different times, you know, run-ins with people and misunderstandings, things like that, that could, you know, that could go left or right. So, but the main eureka here I'm realizing is a satisfaction and guarantee of being a writer, of being a good writer. I said I was gonna take a shower, and I got the soap for it. Cool. Yeah. Contemplating, do I have soap? Isn't that interesting? That's pretty interesting to me. Yeah. It's cool though. All right.